Good evening. I know I started late. Okay, let's see what we have. That's not supposed to switch off. Um, ah, welcome, guys. Might have a glitch on my. I'm long Amazon, I'm long Apollo, I'm long Microsoft. Just decided to go long on Microsoft as well. I did explain why. So I looked at Microsoft. They have one of the best revenue in the market. It's a very mega company, and I think I still believe there's a lot of upside on it. So that's why I went long on the retracement back to the 50 MA, holding the previous breakout point, holding the previous support. So that is why I decided to go long on Microsoft. So I'm long Microsoft, long Amazon. Um, quickly see what happened in the market. Before that, I think let me do this. What am I going to do? Okay, let me do this. So I started extremely late today, and I can explain why. My network was just a bit shaky, and I hope I'm audible. I think this will be best for the stream and to avoid hearing the mice going click, 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 click. This is something. Trying to see what's happening here. Doesn't seem like I'm live, but it's fine. We'll fix that. Let's continue on YouTube. Just wanna let me just quickly do this. Sorry, I'm just gonna finish this, yeah. So I went long Amazon. The previous revenue, I'll just look at the revenue, and the earnings per share were good, and it's a three-way business. And lately, I just discovered that Netflix, its entire business, it's merely based on Amazon. They run their thing on Amazon. So for me, Amazon's a great business. It's been beating revenue for the past few years, definitely. And also reported their earnings. Was it last month? So ngijabulile nge-Amazon. I'm happy with Amazon. Let's see if my phone will start behaving. Yes, Nana. Yes. What? Sorry, Nana. Trombola pisayo. Albeit something. Mhm. Yes. Nini la pisayo. You want nasi? Tell Nini to give you nasi. Today, Nasdaq, it's a bit flat. It's up 0.3%. I think, yeah, ever since I changed my entire provider, everything is going south. We've started the stream early, early. Let me see this one here. I'm looking at S&P 500. It's doing quite well. Take this call. Hello. Hi. Go on, no, no. Uh, eh? Kishab. Kishab. Erege amanhã. I don't even know how to end this thing. This. Um, It looks like on this trade I'll take a break even, to be honest. Uh, yeah. It look like I might take a break even, but it happens a lot. For which I don't mind. Just could have, yeah, but it's better like this. If I take a break even, I'm gonna call it a day on this day trading one, and then we go discuss any other trades that I have. On my props, I've taken a break even already. And see how it goes. Need to call my partner. Not even sure if this thing is audible. Discuss trade my props, I've taken a break even. Yeah, almost a break even. See how it goes. Hello. So we'll go through a lot of stocks that I have. Oh, Christ. What do you call this? What do you call this? Did I move my stop loss too early? Maybe. I was long from here, and now it's coming back, and I'm not even gonna attempt to re-enter. I think I'm not gonna attempt to re-enter this because of whatever is happening here. I don't like it. Come on. Let's see. Yeah, I was long. I was long Nasdaq, yeah. But immediately after it broke this low, am I looking at the same thing or I just rushed? The market is not decisive, so it's fine. Let's speak fundamentals and the news that happened today and the stocks that I'm holding. Let's do this. Look, semiconductors are pushing Nasdaq to the upside. I'm not gonna lie. When you look at Nasdaq, it's trading at 30, it's trading at 3,000. But look, it's trading at 30,546. And because of semiconductors are pushing the market. And with this risk of sentiment that's coming through in the market, we will expect for the market to be down a bit, but we don't see that. So, and I think it's because of the semiconductors. Let me do that. It's because of the semiconductors. Hold on, I'm just gonna respond to this text. Doo-doo-doo. Nzani. So currently, I decided to buy Amazon, Microsoft, and I think we'll discuss why I went long on Amazon and Microsoft. So when you look at Microsoft, from the 27th of March until today, it's up 39%. We got the retracement to this previous support where it is now holding the 30, holding the 50 SMA. Um, and that's a 38% retracement on the Fibonacci. So I decided to go long on Amazon. And the reason being, when you look at the financial statement for Amazon, um, we're just going to look at the previous 3 quarters. Last year, at the end of fourth quarter last year, the estimated what do you call this? The estimated earnings per share was $1.95, which the report was 1.95, which was a 1% miss. But this first quarter, Just trying to show you how great of a company it's Amazon. When you look at the first quarter earnings that happened, I think that was end of May. You look at the forecasted was 1.63 and a 2.78 was reported when you look at the earnings per share, which is about a 70% upbeat in earnings for Amazon. And the technicals allowed me to look for an opportunity for an upside. That is why I went long on Amazon. From 2022 to 2023, revenue has been growing consistently. Um, the only time when revenue was at a minus, but was more like a break-even point, was 2021, 2022, 3 until 2025. The revenue has been growing. Uh, Currently, we are at $714 billion in Amazon. So when you look at basically the financial statements, it makes sense why we'll look into getting our hand on Amazon. I will also look at the PE ratios. I will just look at the overview of it and just speak about it as well. So the current PE ratio it's at 29, which is about 30. The price to earnings ratio is at 30 times, while the price to sales ratio is at 3.66, which is not bad. I will look the exact numbers and the forward PE on Amazon, because also if the share price is increasing in the same pace as the earnings, I think that will make sense why we'll think Amazon is slightly cheaper overall because the earnings are good. On the news, let's see what's there on the news for Amazon as a catalyst for Amazon for an upside. So today, maybe it makes sense why Amazon for today it's up 1.72%. When you look at the news, Pinterest, basically the news it says Pinterest depends Amazon partnership with $4 billion deal cloud. And also today, Amazon, Google announced AI deals. The stock are rising above the tech turmoil. So I think Amazon is getting a bit of good catalyst. And these are the news that I'm just looking at today. For today, that could have pushed the market to the upside on Amazon. So in a nutshell, Amazon is a very good company. The technicals aligned, so that is why I went long. Okay, I'm happy with Amazon. This is a current trade that I'm holding. If you want to see that, you can go to the red app. And I also went short TLT, which is more like I'm longing the 10-year yield. Um, my expectations before we continue with stocks, my expectations is just looking at this yield. Yeah, what am I doing? 10-year yield. So I still believe there is an upside in 10-year bond yields. Um, Inflation is going up, so the already let me open the edge finder and show you what I'm talking about. Already there's projections that we might get one rate cut for the year, which you might start to see the bond market pricing in higher yield in terms of bonds. That's why I went short TLT, which is more like I'm longing the 10-year bond yield. But if we're to look at the projections, miss, there we go. I'm just gonna open. Am I in the right place? Yes. Economic data. So it's getting a bullish reading. ADK, Nikkei, USD I just don't like USD JPY. Interest rate data, yes. Interest rate projection. So if you're on the right tube, as I said, um, go there, you'll see what I'm talking about. So already, when you look at the yen going to the third quarter, the projection is they might keep the interest rate the same. They might not increase rates. That's thank God. We might avoid what do you call this? My English is gone. We might avoid carry trade. But British pound for the projection for the rest of the year, we are likely gonna get rate hikes. The South African Reserve Bank has already increased rates. We might be getting another rate hikes in the British pound. I just not sure when, but let's just keep on watching. That will push the yield high. That will threaten the dollar, all the other currencies. But specifically, I'm looking at the yield. With inflation getting out of hand, we could benefit from buying government bonds yield. But I went short TLT. The trade is not looking good. It's still at the drawdown for the past few days. So, but anyway, um, tomorrow, tomorrow there is NFP. Hold on. Let's go to asset score. I'm looking at Russell. I'm looking at Russell. Russell is giving a bullish reading. Just trying to figure out why. Just gonna be you can go to that app, the right app as I said there, to see the numbers that I'm talking about. Nikkei is bullish. We know that the Japanese yen has been look, that thing has been a beast for a while. What am I talking about? Russell. Russell has given a bullish rating. Let's just look at the asset scorecard. Technicals are bullish, fair enough. Um, Institutional positioning, it looks to be bullish as well. Economic growth, we look at manufacturing PMI, service PMI, retail sales, and consumer confidence. It's been beating the forecast, and that's quite bullish. The only thing that was of worry was the quarterly GDP growth. The forecast was 2%, and we got a 1.6. But in terms of economic growth, we're still bullish, gives a bullish rating. However, and this is important for me to say because inflation, like the only thing we'll be discussing lately is it's inflation. When you look at inflation, inflation is getting out of hands. The Feds might be have to cut rates, hike rates to just to cap inflation. And in this case, the latest data that we have for PMI service, CPI, PCE, you look at the forecast was 3.7% on CPI, and we got 3.8. PPI, the forecast was 4.9, and we got 6%, which was a massive upbeat there. On the labor market looks solid. The labor market is slightly recovering. Looking at the previous NFP, we got a bit. And then we're gonna still see tomorrow's NFP if that will still will still give us a bullish reading to say the only problem that we're dealing with currently, and the Feds or any other reserve bank throughout the world will have to deal with, it's what do you call this? It's inflation, and the only way is just to work around increasing rates or not. So I think you can even look at the technicals for Russell to see if we can get an opportunity there. I'm not as certain as yet, but good news is the problem is the inflation, man. And I think one thing that we should note is we see Nasdaq always breaking the all-time highs, making new all-time highs. Personally, I believe that the reason for that it's because of semiconductors. AI semiconductors are just, yeah, are just killing it. Just gonna be going to that so that we look at it to it. We can look at Macron. Look at that. We can look at Micron, global semiconductor ETF. Here we go. Look at that. Look at that. That's exactly how Nasdaq look here. The semiconductors has been the one that pushing Nasdaq to the upside. It's a really massive. It's really massive market movers now. The AI and more especially the semiconductor ETF. So this is a semiconductor ETF. I do like it. Already I've been watching closely Micron, so we'll see what's gonna happen there. But I've been watching Micron, and Micron looks exactly like this semiconductor ETF. And from April to date, from the 1st of April to date, what's happening here? Semiconductors are up 85%. So within a month, semiconductors are up um 85%, which is a massive, massive move. It's a very massive move. But I said I'll look at the technical for Russell. Let's look at Russell's technicals. If the technical for Russell allow, I might give it a shot. Hmm. I think if I get a decent pullback, definitely. If I get a decent pullback, definitely I am gonna give it a shot. I am gonna give it a shot without hesitation. Oh shucks, this thing is bad. I'll give it a shot. So I will be if it gives such a retracement, I'm gonna look for that. Um, I'm gonna be looking at around 61.75 area. So I might be looking for longs if it retraces there on Russell. Am I audible? Hey man. Hey man. So I'm gonna be waiting for such a move. Come back to retest the 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 100 MA as it comes back up. I'm really gonna attempt Russell. At this point, I didn't get this trade because the fundamentals didn't align. It was not even giving a bullish reading as yet. So I'm gonna be watching at Russell as it come back lower and see if we're gonna get an opportunity. I do love the technicals for Russell though. Small caps are moving slowly, but it's fine. On the currency side, whew, yeah. Let's see the top setup on the currency side, and we're gonna close it off with stocks, and we call it a day. Just waiting for the top setup to open. What's happening with what's happening here? I do on a day trading. I do love trading a counter trend. I'm just looking at something. Sorry. Anywhere. Where was I? On the bearish side, when you look at stocks, you have GU short. It's bearish. CAD JPY is bearish. CAD CHF is bearish. Gold is giving a bearish reading. Interesting. I have to look at that on the scorecard. GBP CHF obviously, and then on the bullish side we have Nikkei USD CAD, AUD CAD. I think I've been watching closely USD CAD and AUD CAD, including Russell. Currently, that is starting to be bullish. But let's look at gold. Gold is giving a bearish reading. Let's start with gold and see where we're going with gold. For me, gold, I'm caught up in between two spaces, to be honest. Yes, look what I'm doing. Uh, you look at this move here, gold is broken below that. That will give you the 4-hour support. That's what I'm talking about. Should you attempt shorting gold? Yeah. The move has already happened, but could attempt shorting gold. I just don't like it. Unless it comes all the way back to that support that I drew here. Maybe something will happen. I just don't like gold, to be honest. Yeah. I don't like gold. I don't like this gold move here. Yes, it's giving a bearish reading, but I'm gonna stay out. While speaking about gold, let me look at US oil. So far we're still below the $100 per barrel. We are trading at $93 per barrel. The day will break below this low. It will be the day I think um, a confirmed ceasefire will have happened, because that will mean the market clearly it's low. And then, what are you laughing at? Okay, what's up? Again, continuing with Forex, AUD CAD. So USD CAD, I was looking at USD CAD yesterday. It's quite far. Basically, in that range, you are retesting the upper range. We break above the lower range. So now we're at the upper range. So I wouldn't even look into looking for an opportunity on USD CAD. Just gonna be sitting out of it. USD JPY. Look, since the market is extremely volatile, my worry with USD JPY, it's one. Look at that. Look at that. Just a boring pair currently. We're about to take out the high here. So NZ decade, it's also bullish. What's happening with it? NZ decade. Here we go. So NZ decade, yes, I'm contemplating to take long on NZ decade. As it comes back lower, but we're still quite far. My problem is it can hold this current price action where it is. It's more like it's a breakout and retest of an area. It's more like a reaction point where it is reacting at. But I'm looking for a deeper retracement. And if I can get that, I think I'll be more happy with the trade that I have. But so far, I'm just sitting out. And on my, funny enough, on my account that I'm trading, that I'm swing trading currencies, has been horrible. This month has been horrible. On the bearish side, let's see, GBNZD. Mhm. Okay, I am short GU. That's something that I am short of currently. I'm short GU. The reason why I went short GU is because I'm bullish on the dollar. I believe eventually we'll get rate cuts. And as we go towards getting rate cuts, I think that trade will stay. Dollar bulls are there and they're extremely possible. Even though this trade is a very boring trade. Retesting that support, go back above, come back, retest that. But one thing I'm hopeful for, if we break this 4 hour support below, I think we are set to go lower as well on something's happening there. Okay. On what do you call this? On GU. And oh baby, oh the brother, which is EU, it was very decisive, yeah. It held support strongly and we're moving higher. And all this is because I want to belong the dollar. It's I want to belong the dollar. If we're to look at dollar, it's quite bullish. Held that support. Eventually, we are ranging in between this consolidating from the 18th of May. Imagine. So we just currently broke above, close above these weeks. That has been happening from the 18th of May. We could be coming into the $100 mark now. So well, I'm just talking about DXY. So we could be coming into the $100 mark. That's what I'm looking at the dollar. That's why I want to long the dollar. And the only way to get long in the dollar is GU. And I've been long AUD CAD. I'm a strong believer of the Australian dollar. And I think from the first quarter, near term, yes, it's still bullish. Inflation is still a problem. That's what I'm saying. I'm a very strong believer of uh, Canadian dollar. I just tested something that I'm not gonna say what is it, but that's where we start. There is hair. Who was I? I'm a strong believer of the Canadian dollar. I have to close the stream now. I'm a strong believer of Canadian dollar, and the reason being inflation's just been out of hand for a while. I think at some point inflation was at 3.8. They had to increase rates, I think twice. Let's quickly confirm that on the H finder economic heat map. Canadian dollar. Here we go. Uh, unim- so currently CPI is at 4.2%. Yes, it came down from the 44% that it was. I mean, from the 4.6% inflation that it was, and I think their target is 2%, are back to be corrected. And we're currently at 4.2%, hence they increased rates last time. And that's still quite bullish for the for the Aussie. And that's the same movement that I want to see with the same movement that I want to see with the Australian dollar, with US dollar. And I think tomorrow, just have to confirm this. Tomorrow there is NFP, and then we call it a day. Tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow there is NFP. Yes, tomorrow there is NFP. Oh, come on, you can't focus such low numbers. So the forecast is 85K. The previous one was 11K. The forecast on NFP is 85,000, and average hour earning have increased. So let's look at what the NFP numbers will look like. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's tough. Thank you so much. I get distracted by my partner, sorry. Okay, tomorrow NFP. So that's interesting. But anyway, let's look at Finviz. Let's close it off with stocks and then I call it a day. Yes, I have a trade. It's looking good. Secured profit. Can we trade above maybe one? If we trade above the 0.99 a mark, and then I'm gonna trail my stop loss higher just to secure more profit. That's it about currencies. There's nothing much happening on the currency world, for me at least, and it's not looking good. Thank you, Galebo. Thank you so much. Yes. Guys, I have to be professional. I'm streaming on YouTube. Yeah. Anyway, where was I? I don't even know where was I. Oh, I was looking at. Don't. Quickly change this. Thank you. Okay, let's look at Amazon. Wait, I'm going to look at Apollo first. Okay, I'm holding stocks. I'm going to look at Apollo, look at the PE, and look at the financials of it. Apollo said we held the support, which, as expected, I went long. I went long. Um, we held support. So I just want to look at Apollo and look at its fundamentals. I did look at them yesterday when I put it on my watch list. Just going to look at what has been happening lately. Um, anything that changed. Okay, let me start with it. What's a ticker for it? Ganane? APO. Apollo Global Management. Okay, here's a good thing I love about Apollo and why I decided to long Apollo. Uh, the numbers, you'll get it on the right tube. You look at PE, yes, PE it says it's at 84 times, but when you get forward PE, it's at 12, which is reasonable. Um, that's one thing which maybe I'm more interested in looking at. Just gonna be looking at the other numbers. Gross margin 58%, profit margin 2%, not as great. Mm. Debt to equity ratio, not as great as well. Yeah. Um, but the let's look at anything that happened lately. Catalyst. I've not used FinFizz in a while, so it's just dear macaroni. Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. So today, what I see from FitViz today, the news coming from Apollo, it's Apollo Delta expects high-grade debt sales to the top US Treasury. Maybe the move also is pushed by this headline here. But I'm gonna go back to. So when you look at other huge companies like your RBC Capital Max sector perform, their target is 142. Morgan Stanley, they are upgraded. They are waiting on Apollo. Their target is 180. So Apollo has a good upside, but I'm gonna just look at the financials on here. I'm gonna log out. Do I have to log out here? Let's see if it will allow me to. Yeah, I might have to log out. Do this. Let's look at its financials. So it's still opening. Oh God, my eyes. Thank you, Gachi, for the number one fan in the fan club. Welcome. Come on, the network is extremely slow. I just want to finish this now. I was long Tesla, but I've more taken a break even on it. Um, okay, here is Apollo. Let's just look at finance and look at the financial statement. So if you're on the right tube, you'll see what I'm talking about. Where was I? Okay, where am I? Okay, total revenue. Here's the thing. Apollo is inconsistent when you look at its revenue growth. Um, it's been growing from after the first quarter of 2025. It's been growing. You look at second, third, and the fourth quarter. At the fourth quarter last year, as we end last year, revenue were at $9.68 billion, but the first quarter we reported a $4.97 billion. So that's about a 30% down move, which is not good. It's not, but that was March. So I'm just waiting for this month earnings. I'm already long on it. We'll see what happens with the earnings. Operating income, it looks like we've been growing on the operating income. Come on, came down from $1.73 billion to 363. Interesting. Also, first quarter of the year, net income we were minus $1.92 billion. Also, I'll have to check what happened for it to be where it is now, for this massive drops. But what gives me hope is this. Total assets, they look to be constantly growing. Hmm. Technically, it looked good. Didn't I do not enough research on it? Net income, that's a very bad net income, minus $1.92 billion on the first quarter. That's not good. This is not good. Price to basic price per share, it's coming down. Just trying to figure. I'll have to look at this. Operating expenses didn't really go up so much. Okay. Cash from operating expenses is good. Cool. They could have potentially invested. Yes. No. Okay. Anyway, I'll have to look at this in details. So for the first time, this is interesting. For the first time, Apollo had, since 2024, had a negative net income. And that net income, it's $1.92 billion. I seriously have to look into this. Yes, I am long. I did like the technicals and the catalyst on it, but we'll have to look into that. Okay, I'm gonna call it a day. Yeah, it's fine. Uh, I'm long here. Let's see how we go, man. I think also I'm long Microsoft. Let me see what's happening with Microsoft. Flat. I think for you to see basically why I've decided to add this stocks on my portfolio. Please look at Facebook. I write many articles on my ideas and why I take trade and trade. It's late now. I have to call it a day and rest. So thank you so much for joining me. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow I won't be live. Yeah, tomorrow I might not be live. So see you next week, Monday. Thank you so much. Um, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the YouTube channel. And on YouTube, we have three podcasts with CTA Research, which is an analyst company. Check out that podcast. I think we have three episodes. And the third episode, Kevin had his top pick, one from South Africa, and then the other from US. I'm just going to tell you the US one. He picked Salesforce. So it's up to you to do what you do with this information. But go listen to that podcast and you'll have an idea why he picked Salesforce. But yeah, he picked Salesforce. Technically, just came back to a massive good support area there. Just want to look at the see. Mm, Still a bearish, still more like bearish, but let's see how it flips. Let's see how it moves from here. So you chose Salesforce in South Africa. His best shot was ShopRite. But just go watch why he chose this shot with this shit. My English. Flip. Why he chose these companies or these stocks. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Truly appreciate you. I need to join someone who's my number one supporter. Thank you so much, guy. Bye bye.